Hello, everybody. It is Tuesday. How we doing tonight? Welcome to Tuesday, people. Tuesday, Tuesday, Tuesday. Everybody loves it. It's Tuesday. How are you tonight? How is everybody doing? What is going on in your world tonight? What are you all grateful for? Hey, Adele and Dazzle are in the house. Great to have you here. Good to have you join us tonight live here tonight on this Tuesday night. What are you all grateful for this Tuesday evening? I want to know what's happening in your world on this Tuesday night as we get started here, cruising through week 49 and 50. Cruising through it. I mean, we're already on Tuesday. Tuesday already. It won't be long, and we'll be saying it's hump day, but not today. Not today. It's Tuesday. It's terrific Tuesday. At that, yes, it is. Yes, it is. Glad to have everybody joining in. It's so nice when everybody is here and feeling good. Hey, Flower Pantry Girl, Jennifer's here. How are you? Pat in the Peanut Gallery. Pat was in my inbox a few times today. I'll circle back with you, Pat. Do not worry. Michelle is here. Great to have you, Michelle. Hope all is well in Virginia. The country's heating up. The weather's getting better. The birds were chirping this morning. I heard them chirping. Okay, I'm not a good chirper, but they were chirping. I'm telling you, they were chirping. They were chirping this morning. They were out there. Spring is coming. 25 days away. 25 days till spring. Are you ready? Do you have your spring wine picked out, Michelle? I mean, let's get right into it. We need the proper stuff with it. The proper things. We got to be thinking spring selection of wines. Your neighbor, the wine man, has to be working on that for you so that we can all get to the other side. There's got to be spring varieties. Ah, 90. We're not heading there. We're supposedly there's a rumor we might hit 50 tomorrow. 50. I heard Dallas was going to hit 80 today for the first time since November. So they go from freezing to 80. I mean, crazy. Hey, hello, Kitty. Ah, that's good. I'm glad your wine man is getting you ready. Kitty, welcome. So what's everybody grateful for this Tuesday? What is everybody grateful for this Tuesday? Tell me about it. I haven't heard, well, Jennifer misses the seasons. Michelle's got wine coming. You know, these are good things. These are good things. How was the recipe of the week this week, Adele? You were going to make that with the meat you had going. Wow, 57 today, Kitty. That had to have people in a good mood. That had to have customers in a good mood. That is nice. Yes. I think Good Morning America said something like last week 80% of the country was under snow in winter, and today only 30% of it was, or something like that. It was some statistic like that Ginger said on the news this morning that I am terribly misquoting, but it was that kind of spread. It's that kind of difference, in what a difference a week makes. It all starts up here, people. But it starts with you spray sunshine all over the place, and you put on a smiling face. There you go, people. Well, let's get this party started. Oh, that's good, Adele. I'm glad to hear that that was a good recipe. We haven't made that yet. Rebecca tonight made a pasta with I don't know, some kind of fancy sauce that she made chicken in and everything else. It was nice. It was nice. It was Rebecca's dinner night. Let's get started with the Good Morning, Good Night book. The Good Morning, Good Night book is how we start this party every night. Tonight we are on page 170. Bottoms up, Michelle. I love it. Bottoms up. I love it. Hashtag bottoms up as you drink your wine. I love it. Oh, I can't wait to get down there to Virginia. Can't wait for it. Tonight, we are on page 170 in the Good Morning, Good Night book. So 170 is where we're at. Good morning. You are the bee's knees, the lamb's gams, the calf's calf, Bethany Frankel's ankles. Invent new idioms. Let's go. Boom, people. Boom, boom, boom. That is how we roll here. All right. Got lots of stuff for you tonight. Lots of stuff going on. Let's hit to it. Let's hit to it. Let me take a sip here before I start reading. Your quote to kick you off tonight. Your quote to kick you off. Rowing harder doesn't help if the boat is heading in the wrong direction. Rowing harder does not help if the boat is heading in the wrong direction. Before 2 tomorrow. Okay. My peanut gallery now knows I need to contact and get in touch with you before 2 o'clock tomorrow. How early a riser is your peanut gallery? That's the real question, is how early a riser is your peanut gallery? I'm betting he's an early riser. Maybe I can catch you while I'm driving in the morning. TJX companies are off to a strong start across all brands. This is actually really good. The TJX companies had an exceptional end of 2020 and a very strong start in 2021. Visits to TJ Maxx, Marshalls, and Home Goods locations quickly overcame a drop in traffic between October and November as COVID cases surged and then sustained the positive momentum into 2021. Visits to TJ Maxx stores were down 15.6% year over year in November, with the traffic gap decreasing to 7.8% in December and reaching 1.5% year over year growth in January. Marshall saw a similarly impressive pace, with year over year visit gap declining to 13% in December and just 4.4% in January. Home Goods continue to ride the home furnishing surge with growth of 4.6% in November, 7.1% in December, and a massive 24.9% year over year increase in January. Can you say government stimulus? Well, it won't be it won't be like crack of dawn early, Pat, but I'll catch you while I'm driving in the morning. Probably 9-ish, 8:39. Even more impressive is that all three of these brands outpaced their respective sectors, according to Placer.ai. Weekly visits from the week beginning December 28th to the week beginning February 1st show that TJ Maxx and Marshalls consistently outperforming the wider apparel sector by a large margin. That's very good for our industry. That is very good for our industry, which follows the same thrill of the hunt. The thrill of the hunt. The ability of both brands to provide significant value in an outdoor center seems to be propelling them ahead of the wider apparel space. And considering that the economic uncertainty driving much of this attention is unlikely to end anytime soon, there's good reason to believe these brands will continue to lead the way for many months, if not years to come. But currently, the shining star in the portfolio is Home Goods. While TJ Maxx and Marshalls outperformed in a struggling segment, Home Goods outperformed in one of the strongest, and outpaced others in the home improvement category. And they're expecting strong results deep in the year. Hey, Joanne, great to have you here. It's always great to have you whenever you can be here. Never feel guilty for being late. According to a survey, most retailers will not require vaccines for workers, but will incentivize. This is a continually evolving story. As the vaccine becomes more readily available, a majority of retailers will not mandate employees be inoculated. 2/3 said they will allow employees to remain working on site if they choose not to be inoculated. That means 1/3 are going to require it. While most retailers are not mandating vaccines, 53% said they will either implement or considering implementing incentives for those employees who do get vaccinated. Incentive includes 2 hours of pay for each dose, a fixed dollar amount, or additional time off to be used at a later date. The survey also found there's still caution regarding corporate employees returning to the office, with only 8% stating the majority of workers have already returned. 84% said it will be at least June before the majority of corporate workers return to the office. 19% they won't return until sometime after September. When corporate workers do return to the office, it won't be pre-pandemic levels. 25% of retailers said they will allow more than half of their corporate employees to continue working remotely, with 1/3 allowing remote workers to work from home all the time. So that'll be interesting to follow. TJX has a huge corporate headquarters here in Massachusetts. Burberry wins an injunction against a Chinese copycat. Burberry has been granted a preliminary injunction against Zenobo Trading from Shanghai, the owner of the Chinese brand Bainbury, for a trademark infringement. By a court, this is actually by a Chinese court granted this. According to the report, Bainbury is a fast-growing brand in the China market and has opened up 40 new stores in the last 18 months, while at the same time increasing its e-commerce business. The Chinese court found that although Bainbury legally obtained trademarks for its name and logo, which bears a striking resemblance to the logo used by Burberry, Burberry's name and logo were already well known at a point, having been used internationally for more than 100 years. The trial is still underway, and no final ruling has been made. The preliminary injunction in a Chinese court is rare. But there have been widespread consumer complaints from Chinese consumers buying Bainbury products when they intended to purchase Burberry products. So don't get your Bainbury confused with your Burberry. And for a Chinese court to actually take action is really impressive. I mean, that's usually nothing happens with their courts. So for them to take it is actually really very good. Macy's holiday sales topped estimates, lifting the company to its first profitable quarter in a year. This is exciting news. This is exciting news for a department store. Macy's reported its first quarterly profit thanks in efforts to cut inventory levels and rely less on deep discounting over the holidays. But same-store sales fell 17.1% from a year earlier, despite Macy's booking double-digit growth online. And Macy's said 2021 will be a year for recovery and rebuilding. While shoppers stocked up on items for their homes and bought beauty products, jewelry, and watches, many continue to divert spending away from clothes and fancy shoes as they work from home and attend fewer social events. And the shift is weighing Macy's results. The department store operator saw steep declines, which won't be abating anytime soon. Traffic to its brick-and-mortar stores remains suppressed, Um, Macy's says it expects 2021 to be a year for recovery and rebuilding as it claws its way back from its losses it suffered during the pandemic. It offered an outlook that anticipates continued obstacles from the health crisis during the spring, with momentum escalating in the back half of 2021. Income fell to 160 million from 340 million a year earlier. Sales were 6.78 billion from 8.34 billion a year earlier, but better than what analysts were expecting. Analysts were expecting a 21% drop in sales, and they only dropped 17%. But this is interesting. The company said it saw nearly 7 million new customers in the fourth quarter, with many of them under the age of 40 and shopping online, not in stores. They acknowledge that apparel still needs a fit. Analysts attributed given Macy's focus on clothing, if it has to make this part of the business work properly to make its long-term trajectory look promising. Apparel sales were down 33% in the fourth quarter, but it's expecting a huge recovery in the category in the back half of 2021 as Americans resume pre-COVID activity and hope builds around the ongoing COVID vaccine rollout. So there you go. Hey, you got to start somewhere, Rose. You got to start somewhere. It's great to have you with us. Billions just brings different headaches. It's a different number. One thing before COVID, after COVID, all of it, Rose, one lesson that I've learned, and I've worked with so many businesses of so many different sizes in so many different industries. Okay, I have worked with stores that have done a couple $100,000 in sales a year and made more money than stores that have done a couple of million. And that is not a lesson to be lost. Okay, the people get stuck on the top number, Rose, but it's really the bottom number that matters. And I have that conversation with stores all the time when I'm working with them. The bottom number matters far more than the top number. The top number matters in refrigerator material, articles like this, and boasting to your friends. Okay, it doesn't matter in reality. What matters in reality is the bottom number. How much you get to keep, how much went to the bottom line. So it's a very important lesson. It's a hard lesson, but it is true nonetheless. I have worked. You wouldn't believe some of the numbers that I have worked with in millions of dollars in sales, and I've worked with stores that had hundreds of thousands and made more, and in all sorts of different industries. Klarna partners with Cosmopolitan to live stream virtual shopping event. The payment app Klarna and a major young women's media brand are entering a leading-edge digital shopping space. Klarna is partnering with Cosmo to host the second biannual Holiday, H-A-U-L, Holiday by Cosmo and Klarna, which the company says is the first ever virtual shopping event created for Gen Z and millennials. The 48-hour event, which debuted in August 2020, will take place March 1st to 2nd, 2021. The two-day event will feature sales across fashion, apparel, footwear, and beauty from retailers such as Macy's, Rebecca Minkoff, Saks Off Fifth Avenue, Express, Blue Mercury, and Foot Locker. This year's event also marks the introduction of a live stream shopping component in partnership with live stream retail platform ShopShop. Cosmo helps inform and inspire the purchasing decision of millions of young women who come to the brand each day. Alongside our partner Klarna and their large network of retail partners, we're excited to kick off this year's event. Our goal with the second event, complete with a live stream shopping element, is to deliver an interactive and fun shopping experience for our audience of digitally savvy consumers whose purchasing habits continue to evolve. Attendees can join the streaming experience at Macy's Herald Square flagship store via the Shop Shops app on March 1st and 2nd at 11 a.m. and 7 p.m. Hosted by style expert Jackie Moran, live streaming is becoming an increasingly popular digital commerce channel, with retailers including Walmart, JCPenney, QVC, and Fred Segal all launching live stream shopping efforts in recent months. Copying, I don't know, the resale industry? Following the success of last year's holiday event, in which Klarna saw 3 times the volume on our app compared to an average weekend, we're thrilled to continue our partnership with Cosmo for round 2. The newly added live stream component enables us to improve the shopping experience for our 15 million customers and drive even more engagement and sales for our participating retail partners. So that's coming up here next week. Next week, people. Next week, it's March. What do you do if you've got all the money, okay, all the customers, and you want to launch new products, but you're not sure if they're going to work? You say, well, I don't have to build it. You buy it, and then we'll build it, okay? Literally. Amazon is letting customers vote on new products with their wallet. If you buy it, the latest concept will become a reality. Amazon is launching a new program called Build It, which ensures new products integrated with its Alexa assistant technology have paid orders waiting before it decides to create the items at scale. Through Build It, Amazon will present customers with Alexa-based concepts, and customers can pre-order any items they want to see built. If the concept reaches its pre-order goal in 30 days, Amazon will begin to build it. They've already got your money. They'll begin to build it, with pre-ordering customers among the first to receive the new product. Customers who pre-order will lock in a special price and will only be charged if and when the product ships. If the pre-order goal is not met, the product will not be built and customers won't be charged. They're officially launching the Build It concept with the following 3 concepts. The Smart Sticky Note Printer. Using voice-to-print technology, this hands-free smart sticky note printer that works with Alexa is designed to ease activities such as printing shopping lists, to-do lists, reminders, calendar events, and puzzles by asking Alexa. The printer uses thermal technology, so it never needs ink or toner, and paper rolls are easy to refill. A smart nutrition scale is another item. The Smart Scale works with Alexa to offer hands-free, instant access to nutritional information for thousands of ingredients and food based on weight. By pairing the device with an Echo Show, customers can also view nutritional information at a glance. Alexa remembers frequently used food and defaults to those items. Customers can ask questions such as, Smart Scale, how much sugar is in these blueberries? Or Smart Scale, to weigh 200 calories of blueberries. I agree, Kitty. They need to pay us interest while we wait. And the third option that you could vote with your orders on is a smart cuckoo clock. I used to have a cuckoo clock. The combination of getting married got rid of the cuckoo clock. Somehow my cuckoo clock disappeared when our households combined. Okay, I no longer have a cuckoo clock that I got from the Black Forest in Germany. But hey, needless to say, I can now have a smart cuckoo clock if I bid on this. The cuckoo clock works with Alexa and features 60 LEDs, a mechanical pop-out cuckoo bird, and built-in speakers for timers and alarms. The clock has a removable pendulum, so users can mount it on a wall or place it on a shelf. Customers can also configure it to sound on the hour or schedule it to mute the sound and motion at certain times. To get started, customers can give verbal commands such as set a 20-minute timer or set a dinner alarm for 6 p.m. I'm amazed at the thing. I don't see an electronic cuckoo clock coming back into my world. Yes, your dog is a cuckoo clock. Yeah, Max has got to get up to pee early, so I get it. This one, the clock sounds scary. Well, that's probably what got rid of it in my household in the first place. Yeah, I don't remember the last. It's been a long time since that cuckoo clock. Something from my youth. When I was a youth. When I was mere youth. Enthusiasm is the electricity of life. How do you get it? You act enthusiastic until you make it a habit. Think about that. Enthusiasm is the electricity of life. How do you get it? You act enthusiastic until you make it a habit, people. That's what I'm telling you. This is interesting. This I'm really surprised by. Okay? Masks gone by July or April. Masks gone by July or April. Hang on a second. I got to take a. It depends on which paper you read. Masks gone by July or April depends on which paper you read. And I'm not talking the National Enquirer. According to the New York Times or the Wall Street Journal, the achievement of herd immunity from COVID-19 in the U.S., an occurrence that would drive crowds back to shops, restaurants, and theaters, could happen in July or April. It depends on whether you want to put more weight behind the estimates from the New York Times or the Wall Street Journal. Places I quote often. The New York Times used estimates made by public health research group PhyCor after adding the number of fully vaccinated people to the number of coronavirus survivors to measure total immunity. When that group approaches 70% of the U.S. population, herd immunity is achieved, the point at which the disease ceases to spread because not enough unaffected Americans exist to spread it. PhyCor figures that will happen somewhere between July and August on the 2021 calendar. 2 days earlier, the Wall Street Journal, quoting the Johns Hopkins School of Medicine, said that based that natural immunity from prior infection is far more common than can be measured by testing. They pointed out that antibody testing performed on people during the pandemic does not capture antigen-specific T cells that develop memory when activated by a virus. In 2008, survivors of the Spanish flu were found to still be producing disease antibodies 90 years after contracting it. Add to that number of survivors the 15% of Americans who've been vaccinated and the 250 million doses that will have been delivered to an estimated 150 million people by March, and our home-based herd of humans will be off the COVID hook by Easter, stated the doctors who teaches isolate transplantation surgery that aids diabetics. And many fellow medical experts agreed with his assessment, but urged him not to write the piece and risk having people walk away from the vaccine. But scientists shouldn't try to manipulate the public by hiding the truth, concluded the scientist. And so April, July, August, I think they're both cuckoo. And that's not from a medical standpoint. I just think you're setting the wrong expectations. The mental side of this pandemic is so hard. And that is why I am not setting an end date for the end of this pandemic. There is not an end date, okay? We are making progress. We are making forward motion. And I wish there was an on-off switch that we could say, boom, it's off. The pandemic's off. But there is not such a switch. There is not such a switch available to us. And, we just have to remain vigilant. We have to do what's right. You have to get vaccinated as vaccines are available. You have to wash your hands. You have to keep things clean. You have to wear a mask. if we act smart and do and be smart, we will get to the end of this, and that's where I'm lying. But I can't hang my hat on April or on July or on September or even Christmas that some have said, because quite honestly, we don't have enough data on that yet, and we're not headed enough in that right direction for that. So I don't want to hang my hat on a particular date for this being over, and but I would welcome this being over anytime. If we woke up tomorrow and they said the pandemic's over, I would welcome that. Okay, I would absolutely welcome that. Hopefully, I am unfrozen for you, Kitty. I'm back. Okay, that's good, because I'm going to cover something important for you, possibly. Okay, so in much a hullabaloo has been made in the news over the last 24 hours about the Biden administration prioritizing the PPP for businesses with under 20 employees starting tomorrow at 9 a.m. for the following 2 weeks. And we talked about it a little bit last night. So one of the things that I have scarce information. I hesitate to talk about it because I don't have the backup forms that go with it. But this could be big. So if you are a sole proprietorship, okay, and I know many of you tuning in are sole proprietorships, okay? You're not an S Corp, you're not an LLC, you are a sole proprietorship. You fill out a Schedule C for your taxes. There is the potential for a change in the PPP calculation method for first and second round PPPs that could be astronomically, okay, Powerball winning shift in how this is calculated. If you have already gotten your PPP, there is the question is already being asked whether this will apply and your PPP will be recalculated. I don't have concrete information on that yet. Okay, so the answer to the follow-up question of this is I don't know. But what would be astronomical? The PPP calculation for sole proprietors is based on net income on your Schedule C. Okay, 2.5 months of net income on your Schedule C. Your net income divided by 12, multiplied by 2.5. That's how they calculate your salary as in addition to payroll on the Schedule C. Simple enough. What I am getting and being told is that they are going to change that, okay, for sole proprietors with 20 or fewer employees. And instead of using net income, you'll be able to use gross income. Okay, that's a big difference. That's a big difference in what we do here. Okay, that would change the math dramatically. Okay, for many of you that are sole proprietorships, that would make your PPPs much larger. Okay, if you could use gross income instead of net income. So I am waiting for the actual forms and math. Actually, the Bankers Association is like totally missed at the Biden administration and the SBA for doing this, saying it's going to slow them down now. Part of this is that they want to slow down the banks and they want the banks to take the time with small businesses. I'm not sure if that's really going to happen. So, well, if net income's a negative number, Kitty, gross income should be a positive number, I'm guessing. looking at your gross sales for the business is going to be a much different number. No, Michelle, a single member LLC is not the same as a sole proprietor. Excuse me, I'm chewing on some ice. An LLC is a different classification. I am still waiting for more clarification on this. So I hesitated to talk about it at all, except for that it's been in the news so much that this is going to be good for business. And if this change is in there and the formulas allow for it, it could be. If it also allows businesses that have received their PPP to have their PPPs adjusted up, that would be also huge. So these are many of the questions that are out there tonight. These are many of the questions that are out there, but this could be huge for a lot of small businesses. This could be, if you're a sole proprietor and you get to use your gross sales instead of your net income, that yields a much different PPP. So I will keep you posted on that as I know more. I'm expecting more information to drop from them tomorrow, or in the overnight. As soon as I have it or any of my contacts send it off to me, I will share it with you. Yes, I will. And you know where I'll have it? I'll have it in the NARTS private Facebook group first, but it'll be over at narts.org/resalestrong by noon the very next day. Noon, I tell you. That's when all the forms get there. All of them get there by noon the next day after I post them. And everything is there, including a link to these videos on the YouTube channel. You're not alone running this store, where you can like, comment, subscribe, and ring the bell so you know when a new one drops. You can also share narts.org/resalestrong with all your friends in business. They don't have to be in retail. They can be a butcher, a baker, a candlestick baker. Whatever they do, whatever they are, we're going to help everybody get across the finish line. That's what I'm telling you here, people. It's about getting everybody to the other side of this. That is what we want to do, is get everybody over the finish line here and on to the other side. I am here every night at More 8 Than Ish, live in the NARTS private Facebook group. But if you have a question in between, you just email me, Neil, Neil at ECIstores.com, Neil at ECIstores.com. That's where you find me. We start this program every night with the Good Morning, Good Night book. The Good Morning, Good Night book is where we start this program. Tonight, we started on page 170 with Good Morning. You're the bee's knees, the lamb's gams, the calf's caps, Bethany Frankel's ankles. Invent new idioms. Let's go. Our good night tonight is good night. You're the cream in my coffee, the sugar in my bowl, the absinthe in my cocktail, the syrup in my Slurpee. Tasty dreams. Let's go. There is your graphics tonight, folks. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Neil Abramson. I do like a good party, a wedding, a bar mitzvah, a end of COVID party. These things will happen again. Yes, they will. And when they do, I will be there with you. But until then, know that you, and most importantly you, yes, you're not alone running this store. Have a great night, everybody. It's time for dessert.